The alleged ringleader, Carlos Medina, has been sent back to Metropolitan Correction Center pending his bail hearing, which is set for next week. And I'm told that his mother will soon follow, although I was just upstairs and authorities were trying to calm her down. Now, at the start of the day, there were 19 defendants, but as they were sitting in the hallway handcuffed together outside of the courtroom, a woman came over to them. She offered them a pack of cigarettes when she, too, was arrested right on the spot. Police say they had been looking for Lydia Rivera, that she allegedly helped cut and package the heroin that was smuggled here from Europe. Now, police are still looking for 9 suspects, which they believe to be a part of this far-reaching drug trafficking operation, an operation which they hope they put an end to yesterday. The result of a 9-month investigation involving undercover purchases and wiretaps. Bundles of pure heroin with a street value of $70 million was seized from 15 locations in the Bronx and Queens. Most of it, 57 pounds to be exact, was found here at the home of Paquita Medina, the alleged ringleader's mother.
It was found secreted in a false back of a closet. It was very, very well secreted and was certainly not open to the naked eye.
Carlos Medina, a.k.a. Carlito, has been charged with 5 counts of distribution and conspiracy. His wife, Irma, has also been arrested. Police say she ran the operation from 1980 to 84 when her husband was in jail on weapons possession charges. Authorities say the operation was centered at Medina's home on Tremont Avenue in the Bronx. From there, police say he phoned this location, 196th Street, also in the Bronx, and gave directions in code to his so-called mill workers, the people who allegedly cut and packaged heroin, cocaine, and crack. Drug paraphernalia was seized from that location yesterday. Police also confiscated guns, Teflon bullets capable of penetrating bulletproof vests, furs, $75,000 worth of cash, what police describe as ostentatious jewelry, and some very expensive cars.
One of which is a Mercedes-Benz camper, which is custom made for one of the defendants, in addition to a 1934 Model T Ford, 1985 Porsche, and 2 1986 Mercedes.
Now, this operation began in 1975, and police say during the 9 months which they were on to it, $450,000 worth of heroin a week was distributed in New York, Connecticut, and Puerto Rico. Ironically, a lawyer for one of the clients, for one of the defendants today, told me that he quit because his client is broke. At the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, I'm Marcy Reitman. Back to Ralph and Jane.
Thank you, Marcy. Meantime, the worry over drug addiction among public officials has resulted in a directive today from the mayor of Paterson. Frank Graves has ordered all department heads and division directors to undergo drug testing by September 30th. Mayor Graves said any official found to be using drugs would be put on leave without pay and offered counseling. City Councilman Thomas Rooney immediately blasted the order, saying it presumes you are guilty before proven innocent. Well, Graves is going ahead. In fact, he says he'll reveal the names of any public officials who refuse to take the drug test.
And New York City Police Commissioner Benjamin Ward says there'll be little mercy shown to police officers involved in drugs. Ward lays down the law on police and drugs in an interview with Gabe Pressman on WNBC TV's News Forum.
Cocaine, heroin, or marijuana in a legal manner. And I distinguish that from whiskey, which he can buy in a legal manner. And I will treat him if he wants to get into one of our programs for alcohol. But if he violates his oath of office and deals in contraband drugs, those hard drugs, cocaine, heroin, etc., then we're going to discipline him. And if that discipline results in his dismissal, I think that's the right penalty for him.
That entire interview with Police Commissioner Ward can be seen on News Forum tomorrow morning at 11:30 right here on Channel 4.
And Jane, in still another attack on the spread of illegal drugs, mayors from across the nation will gather here in New York on Tuesday to coordinate their efforts against drug dealers. The session was called by Mayor Koch and Harlem Congressman Charles Rangel. They call the problem a crisis of frightening dimensions. Mayor Koch saying the nation is engulfed in a drug epidemic. However, the National Institute on Drug Abuse says that while addiction is high, it is not at epidemic levels. In any case, Mayor Koch wants the mayors to urge more federal anti-drug operations, including the establishment of federal narcotics courts to ease the burden on the local courts.
4 men and a 6-year-old boy were shot today in Hempstead, Long Island by a gunman wearing a ski mask. Police say the victims were in an auto repair garage when they were hit. The suspect, described as a 6-foot-tall black male dressed entirely in blue, has not yet been apprehended. He carried a small handgun. 6-year-old Eduardo Mendez Jr. of Hempstead was treated and released for a bullet wound to the hand. His father and 2 of the other victims were more seriously hurt. They are all hospitalized tonight in guarded condition. Nassau County Police are handling the case. They say they do not yet have a motive in the shootings. Meantime, in Massapequa, Long Island, fire swept through a boarding house early today, taking 4 lives and leaving 1 woman seriously injured. The Massapequa Fire Department answered a call at 357 Ocean Avenue shortly after 5 a.m. They battled the blaze for half an hour. The 4 victims who were killed have not yet been identified because they were so badly burned. Bonnie Becker, age 49, who survived, is in critical condition at the Nassau County Medical Center. She suffered burns on over 25% of her body, and she was injured when she jumped from the building. The cause of that fire is not yet known, and fire officials are investigating tonight.
It was called Black Ribbon Day by the demonstrators who want no one to forget the anniversary of the Nazi-Soviet Pact, a pact that led to the start of World War II. It was an opportunity to protest Soviet human rights violations. About 200 mostly Eastern European descendants crowded into Dag Hammarskjöld Plaza, waving their anti-communist banners. They were joined by sharp protests from New York politicians. Senator Alphonse D'Amato chided Soviet Secretary Gorbachev.
For disarmament, for a nuclear-free era, is subject to question when you continue to violate the rights of not only your own citizens, but of hundreds of millions of others.
The imposition of its might by the Soviet Union on all of Eastern Europe had its basic start in the alliance between Stalin and Hitler, between the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany.
The Black Ribbons, they said, will never let them forget many of their loved ones still living under Soviet domination and without freedom. Anti-Soviet rallies were also held in several European cities. Up next, Chinese officials convict an American of spying.
And stars of a new Broadway play leave the stage for the streets in a protest. Those stories are coming up. Stay with us.
My Uncle Sally's pride and joy.
Does anything make more noise and less sense than new car deals? Well, the only thing that makes any sense, they don't talk about. The bottom line.
Well, it's bottom line time at your Hyundai dealer. Hyundai Excel starting at $49.95. 8 models under $7,000. All with more standard features than anything in their class.
Hyundai has the bottom line deal that makes sense. Without all the noise.
Call toll-free for the Hyundai dealer nearest you. Get the bottom line deals that make sense.
Win one of 2 Jeep Wagoneer Limiteds. Get rules and entry forms in this Great Events insert in your Sunday paper. And save over $20 with coupons, offers, and refunds on name brand items like Glider Snacks, Domino Sugar, Goya Sazon, Brillo Soap Pads, Fuji Batteries, Mealtime Dog Food, and more. Look for this Great Events insert. Maybe you'll win a Jeep Wagoneer.
What do 3 flamenco dancers, 2 wrestlers, and a giant woodpecker have in common? They can't put a dent in a Chevy truck with a Duraliner truck bed liner. And now you can get a free Duraliner worth $325 with any pickup from your Tri-State Chevy dealer. With 6-9 financing and a free Duraliner, you can save up to 800 big ones. But only until September 3rd at your Tri-State Chevy dealer. We've got what you're looking for.
In New York, the country's Big Apple, the word around town is German.
Beck's.
In Washington, the nation's capital, the word around town is German.
Beck's.
In Los Angeles, the home of the stars, the word around town is German.
Beck's.
Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
And An American has been sentenced to 12 years in a Chinese prison on charges he spied for Taiwan. Roland Senshu Lu, a 67-year-old Los Angeles man, was convicted of buying military, economic, and political secrets from the Chinese couple you see here and another man. In an unusual broadcast last night, Beijing television aired a 15-minute documentary showing parts of the arrest, the trial, and the conviction of Lu and the others. Lu is the first American jailed as a spy in China since it established diplomatic relations with the U.S. in 1979.
It is an unusual plea for help. The cast members of the newly opened, soon-to-be closed Broadway musical Rags are demonstrating tonight.
Our star has offered to perform for nothing. The cast has all offered to take cuts and salaries because we love it. We believe in this show. It needs to survive. It's about survival.
Musical, which opened on Broadway Thursday night to mixed reviews, is closing tonight if more money cannot be found to keep it going. The show is set on the Lower East Side in 1910. It's about the Jewish immigration experience. It's been getting good audience reaction. The producers of Rags say they are caught in Broadway's crunching financial jaws, that the cost of putting on a show is so high, it has to be an instant hit to survive.
Well, you didn't have to know how to rope a calf, but steering skills certainly came in handy in a modern-day rodeo in New Jersey. McGee Hickey caught up with the excitement.
It may lack the macho brutality of a Western rodeo, complete with bucking broncos, dusty spurs, and bruised bottoms. But for 35 New Jersey bus drivers maneuvering around these obstacles in the Meadowlands parking lot, this rodeo is just as exciting.
For us that are out here, we think it's pretty exciting. I guess that's why we're out here. But, I mean, it's not like bucking horses and such like that.
No, I never wanted to be a cowboy. I always wanted to be a bus driver.
Watch this contestant artfully execute the right-hand reversal, not even grazing an orange or yellow cone. No points lost here. Now observe him pull up within the prescribed 6 inches to the curb. But wait, the ultimate test is yet to come. And finally, what is for the bus drivers the toughest, trickiest part of this 12-obstacle course, the 20-mile-an-hour run through the yellow barrels. Then the driver must abruptly stop before the final cone. Wilfred Leon, who came in 3rd last year, did perhaps even better this time around.
I really think I did very good.
Sharing in that opinion, Leon's cheering section, his father, a retired bus driver up from Florida for this event, his wife, and already quite competitive son. Do you think you can ever drive as well as he drives?
Yeah.
You think you can beat him?
Yeah.
For organizers, this rodeo has a serious side.
These are problems that these guys encounter every day. The only 2 problems that they don't encounter are the reverse back ends. Everything else they do every day.
Today's winning driver receives not only a $500 savings bond and a trophy, but an all-expense-paid trip for 2 to Detroit to compete in the International Bus Rodeo in October. The anticipation to find out who the big winner is was too much for at least one spectator. From the Giants Stadium parking lot, McGee Hickey, News 4, New Jersey.
Today's winners were Joseph Sablin of Montclair, David E. Delbin of Maple Shade, Frank Lawton of Patterson, and David Powers of Elizabeth.
And congratulations to all. We have more to tell you. Up next, Sal has sports. The Yankees can gain a full game on Boston.
And it's California dreamin' for the Mets. That's coming up.
Are you just talking Cadillac? Don't talk. Buy now. Your Cadillac Tri-Statesmen are talking values. Incredible values on every 86 Cadillac. And 6.9% GMAC APR financing, too. Move now for a Cadillac DeVille. Act fast for a Seville. Hurry in for an Eldorado or elegant Brome. Don't just talk Cadillac. Buy or lease a Cadillac now. Only from your Cadillac Tri-Statesmen.
LOTTO, win $1 million playing it.
2 games for $1 in the making.
Twice a week there's millions for the taking.
Pick 6, LOTTO, for $1 million. New Jersey's game really pays. Twice a week, win 2 ways. Pick 6, Lotto.
Bring home $1 million.
It happens once a year. And the once is now.
there's no better time to whip the old bamboo around. Fisher frisky, crowds are gone. That's why I'm wild about Piedmont's low fall fares. I can tie on a fly anywhere Piedmont flies and save money to boot. So, give them a call today. Alrighty, now you've seen how much you can save on Piedmont's fall fares. I think you've seen just about enough of my favorite fishing spot. Find your own fishing spot. Okay, I'm somewhere near Denver. Okay.
If you're a Mets fan or a Yankees fan, you've got fairly good news today.
That's right, Ralph. The Mets are in San Francisco, showing no mercy. The second-place Giants already 7 games behind Houston in the West, thanks to last night's loss to the marauding Mets, who lead by 19 games in the East. Last night, Dwight Gooden won his 13th. Today, the Mets lead the Giants 3-1 in the 7th inning. Rookie Kelly Adams already knocked out. The Mets started Bobby Ojeda, the 13-game winner. His dad threw out the ceremonial first ball. They're from Visalia, California. Today, Visalia Day at Candlestick Park. Ojeda struck out 6 Giants through 4, but in the first and second and 2 outs, Candy Maldonado's pop fly should have been the last out. Santana and Wilson collided. Will Clark scored. Dykstra threw to the plate. Ojeda cut it off, tagged out Chris Brown. 1-0 San Francisco. In the Mets' 5th, bases loaded, 2 outs. A wild pitch by Adams. Santana scored to tie the game. Still second and third for Keith, and Hernandez lashed a solid hit. Both runners scored. 3-1 Mets. Adams headed for the showers. The second-place Yankees have been running in place since the All-Star game break, winning just 1 more game than they've lost. Tonight, Ron Guidry is matched against Kurt Young of Oakland at the stadium. Last night, Ricky Henderson manufactured winning run. 2-2 struggle. Henderson led off the 8th with a spinning tap. Carney Lansford muffed it. The toss to the pitcher, Joaquin Andujar, was late. Ricky was running on the first pitch to Randolph, and he swiped his 71st base of the season. Henderson made himself a dancing nuisance to Andujar. The veteran right-hander suckered into a balk. Third base umpire Rich Garcia made the call. Ricky to third, and Randolph with 1 out poked to hit to short right. Hernandez skipped home for the 3-2 lead. Dave Righetti saved it for Dennis Rasmussen, keeping the Yanks 6 behind Boston. But this afternoon, the front-running Red Sox lost a half game in the standings, losing in Cleveland 5-4. The Tribe had lost 8 in a row to Boston until today. They started Tom Seaver, and he gave up 4 runs in 5 1/3. Joe Carter's leadoff homer for Cleveland in the 5th inning put the Indians ahead 4-1. Red Sox rallied, tying at 4-4 in the 9th on Wade Boggs' long fly ball that was foul. Otis Nixon elected to catch the ball. Ed Romero easily scored on the sac fly to tie the game. Ernie Camacho complaining his left fielder should have let the ball drop for a strike. Bob Stanley in relief in the 9th, 2 on, 1 out. Carter with a catchable fly ball to right. Bill Buckner and Dwight Evans collided. Bernazard was held at third, bases loaded for Cleveland. Pinch hitter Andy Thornton singled to center. Bernazard scored the Indians over the Red Sox 5-4, cutting Boston's lead over the Yanks to 5.5. Meanwhile, in Baltimore, Angels rookie Ray Chadwick staked to a 2-0 lead, but Cal Ripken Jr. smacked a home run, a solo shot in the Orioles' first, cutting the lead to 2-1. And then later on, Jim Traber got another home run for the Orioles. As we look at something I don't know about, we'll just tell you that the Orioles beat the Angels by a score 4-2. The crowd going wild. The Angels are loose, leading the West by 3.5 games. And there's Reggie saying, hey, we lost the game. Let's check it out. The Orioles beat the Angels 4-2. Taiwan won the 40th Little League World Series 12-0 over Tucson, Arizona. At Williamsport, Pennsylvania, hopefully a broadcasting team beaming the game back to Taiwan. Are we going to have that tape? No, we're not. We're just going to tell you that Taiwan beat Tucson by a score of 12-0. After 3 rounds of the World Series of Golf, a tie between former winner Lanny Watkins and first-timer Dan Pohl. The shot of the day, Corey Pavin. Are we going to see that tape? Yes, we are. Here it is. Corey Pavin, length of the green putt on the 18th, and in the hole, the 3rd round 70 for Pavin, who's 3 strokes off the pace. Greg Norman's last putt, just off the beam. The Great White Shark, the British Open champ, had a 72. He's 5 strokes back. Jack Nicklaus sank his last putt on the 18th. He is 3 behind the co-leaders. Lanny Watkins from the fringe off the 11th. He holed out the shot. Then Watkins from the trap on the 12th. He holed out the shot. He is tied with Dan Pohl at 4 under par for the lead at the World Series of Golf. Giants play the Jets tonight at Giant Stadium. I'll have the videotape highlights at 11.
All those people cheering you saw, something we're going to have a little later on in this newscast. They're all honeymooner fans.
They really weren't trying to punch you out.
Okay.
Coming up next, Joe Satilli has the weather for the rest of our weekend.
And bang, zoom to the moon. It's honeymooner time.
In 18th century America, life was different. It still is. Come back in time to colonial Williamsburg. Come taste the different foods, hear the different sounds, smell the different smells, meet the different people. For a vacation that's totally different, come to colonial Williamsburg, where 18th century America lives.
Harold, have you learned your English to live in America?
I will be missing you very much, grandfather.
Saying goodbye is never easy, but with AT&T International Long Distance, it's easy to say hello. A 10-minute call to Japan can average just 95 cents a minute. Only AT&T keeps you this close anywhere in the world.
We missed the turn?
No, sweetheart, we didn't miss a turn.
You all right?
There are a lot of new healthcare plans around today that say they'll give you comprehensive coverage and eliminate complicated paperwork. But the new plan from Blue Cross and Blue Shield gives you these benefits and the security of 50 years of experience.
Okay, fine. Go right in.
And that can really take a bundle off your mind.
The 1987 Mazda SE5 has a special $64.95 price for a limited time. It's a sporty truck, priced like Toyota's and Nissan's base trucks. It's also an 87, not an 86 like theirs. And believe it or not, comes with everything you're looking at.
Sakes alive, sakes alive. Mazda's SE5 has a special price of $64.95.
Sakes alive. Get a great deal at your local Mazda dealer today.
Joe Satilli's been checking on the weather for us, and he has this late report. Joe?
Ralph, thank you very much. We might have a taste of fall in tonight's forecast, and we'll tell you about that in just a bit. Right now, look at some video. A beautiful day here in the big town. I'll take it. What are they doing?
Having fun. Huh?
Right now, we're looking at 76. Out of the southeast at 9 miles per hour. Relative humidity at 74%. And the barometer is at 29.90, and it is falling. Okay, let's take a look at a satellite photograph and show you what's going on. Clouds in the eastern part of the country, but look at this pool of clear air. It's very cool. Temperatures in the upper Midwest today only in the 60-degree range. A cold front is about ready to move into our area, and it is kicking off some showers in western New York, also through western Pennsylvania and down into West Virginia. That cold front is expected to move through by tomorrow morning and bringing with it very cool air. It's going to seem like fall tomorrow night. So the forecast for tonight, showers and thunderstorms with that front. Temperatures in the 60s area-wide with a south wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tomorrow morning, partly sunny skies, still a chance of a shower or two. Temperatures in the 70s, 60s in upstate New York. High temperatures for tomorrow in the 80s for the most part, with cooler readings to the north and west with partly sunny skies. And then for tomorrow night, clear skies, temperatures in the 60s here in town, 50s to the north, and around 49 in northwest New Jersey and around 48 degrees in upstate New York. It's going to feel like fall. The 5-day forecast looks like this. For Monday, the sunny sky, 83. Same for Tuesday, high temperature reading of 83 degrees. Partly sunny for Wednesday, 83. For Thursday, high of around 82 degrees. It'll feel like fall tomorrow. We'll have more on that tonight at 11.
All right, Joe, we'll check you then. Thank you.
Well, there were more laughs than tears, even though it was the farewell convention of Ralph today in Manhattan. Ralph stands for the Royal Association for the Longevity and Preservation of the Honeymooners. Whew, now that's a long title for a group of people who simply want to celebrate that loud but lovable bus driver from Bensonhurst, also called Ralph. They call themselves honeymoonies. Those thousands of rabid fans who memorize, immortalize, and otherwise idolize the honeymooners.
You can't help but laugh about it.
I think there are 30-something episodes. I've seen every one 20 times.
For me, it's like going to church every night. I mean, it's like a
It's a religious occasion.
2,000 fans came together at today's last Ralph convention at Madison Square Garden to salute the lost episodes, some 70 honeymooners that were found in a vault in Miami by Jackie Gleason.
Say, let me have it.
I don't want to.
Say, let me have it, Gordon.
All right. Let me have it.
All right.
I love Ralph. I want to marry him.
In addition to the lost episodes, the devout had every opportunity to remember this convention.
This is $300.
There are games, hats, dolls, shirts, and everyone has a favorite character.
I love him a lot because I got a big mouth.
Ralph, I think Norton's my favorite. I apologize, but it has to be Ed.
But the highlight of the day had to be a reenactment of a favorite scene, with wrestler Lou Albano as Ralph Cramden, Brian Carney in his father's role of Ed Norton, and the original Trixie, Joyce Randolph.
They're just rabid fans, and they love us, and it's just great. And also, our scripts hark back to a gentler era, and perhaps you feel secure and happy watching them. And as Mr. Gleason says, they're just plain funny.
Just remember,
one of these days!
Pow! Right in that chest! Pow! Right in that chest!
One of these days. One of these days. Pow. Right in the kitchen.
great old show. You know, they had kids there who were 9 years old who were honeymooner fans.
You wonder why. Obviously, they weren't around at the time, but I guess that's television rerun for you.
That's our news for now. We'll see you at 11.
Good night.
Why is the New York lottery agent suddenly the most popular man in town? Because he's the only man with tickets for New York's new instant lottery, where you could win $100,000 instantly, or a chance to spin a weekly jackpot wheel, and that could be worth millions. New York's new instant lottery, available only from your New York lottery agent. No wonder he's so popular.
When all the dust has settled, the testing's completed, the review's written. The only real competition for this BMW are these BMWs.
For a test drive, contact your New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut BMW dealers.
I went to see it Saturday. The only reason I'm saying this is because it is such an event.
8 hours, 8.5 hours.
8.5 hours.
And it seemed like 15 minutes.
Is the length of the play.
It is an event because you feel like you're in history.
Yeah.
At the end, the whole audience stands up and cheers for 10 minutes. They won't leave.
And it is incredible. There are 36 people in the cast, and some of them double and triple and quadruple in the roles.
It's very nice of you to mention this to people because they will thank you if they go see it.
Nicholas Nickleby.
This has been a presentation of News 4 New York.
Live at 5 talks tennis with Stan Smith Monday.